Come join us for our weekly treasure hunt. We are Central Pennsylvania's largest antique store. Hi, and welcome to the Antique Marketplace for our treasure hunt. Today we're going to be checking out, of course, some wonderful treasures. Now the booths that we're going to be looking at are directly behind me, and we'll get into a little bit of details, but it's really fun. If you've never done this before, what we do is we draw booths that are going to be selected for the next week, and then we'll showcase merchandise in those booths that we believe are treasures for our customers. So every week we do a video. Please join us. So we'll begin with booth number 158. They're running a 25% off sale, and I found some neat treasures from Czechoslovakia. They have this neat little basket, and it's $22. It does have a stamp on it, so nice condition. I don't see any chips or anything. They also have, there's this little picture here. This is $20, also a Czechoslovakia piece. There's a little stamp there, and I don't feel any kind of chips or see any cracks in that. And then there's a third piece here. This one here is $20. As you can see, there's some neat crazing in that, and I think it's really neat. It looks like a little candle holder, and this does have a stamp that also tells us that it was made in Czechoslovakia. So I thought these were some neat treasures. We'll dig through the booth and find a couple more. So I found this really cute piece of pottery, and I love the little spout on it, and it's actually signed. I can't tell who the signature is, but I'm going to hold it up close, and you can make it out. I don't know. But it's in really good condition. I don't see any chips in this piece. I just think it's adorable. It's only $12, and you can see it's really tiny. It's just cute. This vase, I love it. I love the crazing. Some people don't like that, but if you look, see all those little, this one really shows it, and you can see it well, the crazing in this. I like the floral pattern. I don't see any cracks or chips. This was made in Austria. It's $30, but at 25% off, I think it's a real gem. I just found something really cute and tiny, and it has arms and legs that move. It's a little bisque figurine, a little doll, and it's only $7, and it is just incredible. Look how this is old. This is really old, and it is so neat. You can see its little legs go and little arms go. I am sure a collector out there is just falling in love and drooling over this. $7 at 25% off. This is a treasure. Okay, for the paperweight collectors out there, here is a really cool one. It is signed on the bottom. I am not a collector, but I have spoken to collectors, and they told me that that is a big deal. So this one here is $65, but we're 25% off, and you might be able to see some of what the signature is on the bottom. I'm going to kind of bring it close and see. I don't know if you can make that out. It's right above the tag, and this is just super cool. I love it. Figured this would be a treasure for somebody out there. So now we're with vendor 542, and just so you know, these booths, when you first come into the store at the register area, you're going to make a left. So it's very easy to find, but you can always ask the people at the register area where these booths are, and they can help you out. Now, in way of what customers would love, this vendor has some Buddy L, and I know there's Buddy L collectors out there. So let me grab this piece here, and this has a Coke. It has the Coke on it, Coca-Cola. And normally you'll see like little carriers, Coke, little Coke, little plastic crates that have Coke in it. So this does not have that, but it is still, looks like it's in pretty decent shape. As you look over here, some of the signs go on a little bit, but that's part of being antique. And let's look at the price. The price is $54. So if you like this Buddy L truck, this vendor has one for you. This vendor also has a Hubley Roadster, check this out. And the price is $22.95. There is some paint chipped, but you know, that's something you expect for some of these older pieces. So I do think a collector would probably like this. This vendor also has a Tonka truck here, has the label on it. Let's get the price. This one carries, of course, your cars. I think my brothers might have had something like this when I was a child. This is $109.95. I think that's pretty neat. And the windshield, I'm feeling that. That doesn't seem like that is cracked. I think that's a pretty good piece. So for those of you that love action figures and maybe Star Wars and things like that, this vendor, number 542, has a lot to offer. So I pulled a couple of the action figures out from Star Wars, and as you can see, some of them are a little bit shorter, and then we have some taller ones. So we're going to take a closer look. So here we have Luke Skywalker, and this action figure, as you can see, is much taller. You know, if you can get an idea of how tall he is, you can see like a hand width. I mean, he's pretty big. This guy here is $29. It's 18 inch. There you go, the measurements on it. So he looks like he's in pretty good shape. If you are a Star Wars fan, you're going to just love this guy. He is really neat. And, you know, I love Star Wars. That was a big thing when I was a kid. So I really enjoy that. And then as we look closer, here we have Obi-Wan. So he's pretty neat looking too. A lot shorter than the Luke Skywalker one. He is 12 inches and he is $19.95. Now if you collect these, maybe you have the shorter one or the taller one, and that would make a big difference as to which ones you want to get. And there might be more action figures in the case. He does have more of the 12 inch than not. And here we have one of the Stormtroopers, and he is $19.95. He's a 12-inch one. So this would just, the really neat thing. This is just a blast from my past, you know, the force be with you kind of thing. So they're pretty neat. Now he does have a lot of other action figures of other things that I don't know too much about, but we'll take a look at them. Okay, so I decided instead of taking them all out of the case, I'm just going to kind of show you some of what he has. I know this is some of the newer movies that are out. I know my nephew's really into this, and I forget what he's called. It'll probably say on the tag. But if we look at these, if you're into the action figures, you know what you're looking for. And so here we get into some of the older ones like the Star Wars and stuff. And he actually has a Spider-Man. There's a really neat Spider-Man one. So, you know, these prices vary a little bit. A lot, $19.95 is the price on most of the smaller ones. And then, of course, your taller ones are going to be more. Okay, and here we have a really neat piece. This is from 1980s. It's 1980, and it is a snow speeder. Okay, this is pretty neat. This, I believe, goes up or down. So, oh, I just put its legs down. There's legs that kind of hold it up. So, yeah, that looks like a little sled leg. And then this goes up and down. Oh, I bet this just pops into place. So, I'll let that go. I'm only one-handed. But it looks like it's in pretty good shape. If you want to check that out. So, there's a lot of other neat things in this booth as well. Let me get a price on this. This here is $39.95. Okay, now those of you that are into baseball, here is a Cal Ripken figurine. I believe this is $34, I think $95. And that would just be a neat piece to put on your shelf, maybe on a bookcase or on a desk or something. I think that's a pretty neat, or if you just have a lot of baseball memorabilia in a place that you display that, that's a pretty neat piece. So I'm going to shift gears a little bit. This vendor actually has a lot of old photographs. This is from 1884. It's a picnic, and it's $34.95. It is really neat to check out these old these old pictures. And he has a couple in his booth. So if you are into collecting the old pictures, this one I think it's a really nice picture here. And here he has an old baby picture. Let's look at this one here. It just says baby picture. It's only $4.95. So, you know, if you're into collecting these, here's a pretty nice condition picture. Okay, now here is something that caught my eye. It looks like some kind of a video game. It says here on the tag, Transformers Autobot laptop. Okay, so it is $39.95. If you are a collector of old games like this, I think this would be a pretty neat piece to have. So let's see what vendors we're going to be looking at next week. And the numbers we draw are vendor 195 and 251.